What are my favorite plug-in instruments? People ask, like, what's my favorite piano VST? And I said Addictive Keys. I have other piano VSTs, but this one just happens to be super lightweight. Go through patches very fast. Other ones are just a little more bloated to me. I'm gonna load a MIDI file from Drums That Knock Volume 9. Super realistic sounding, full. A lot of different tones, more like lo-fi sounding stuff. You can get different expansions. Upright piano. This is my go-to for road sounds too. And mainly just because it's really fast. And they have an electric grand expansion. Omnisphere, made by Spectrasonix. You can do a lot of sound design stuff with it. There's such a variety of patches in the library. It's super powerful. If I want to load a quick kalimba, if I want to load some vocal patches, pick a random one. Huge sounding. Omnisphere sounds super crisp, full. Arcade is amazing. There's just so many different samples and loops, just different weird sounds. You can pick the key of your track. So if my beat is in, say, A minor, and you lock that in, every single sound you pick is gonna be in A minor, besides drums and stuff that isn't melodic. Go through and find hits and samples and chop them. There's a lot of discovery in it. You have to pay $10 every single month. It's not something you can buy and own. I wish you could, but there's a lot of amazing sounds in it. Something random, and make a beat out of it. Digging in the Crates 2021 style. Native Instruments complete. There's a huge library of sounds in it. Vintage drums, cinematic sounds, Middle Eastern sounds, tons of different synthesizers, string plugins, bass, brass, anything you could want. When you install it, it's kind of finicky getting it started, so expect to spend time trying to figure out how to link your library and all that stuff. If Native Instruments could just work that out, I'd like it even more. But this is a great go-to. They sound good. Spectrasonix Trillion, a massive bass module. Electric, acoustic, basically any bass sound you could want. Something a little bit more live sounding, Trillion is the go-to. If I don't want to actually hook up my bass guitar and play, Trillion's amazing for that. And this plugin's been around for a minute, so I'm really glad they updated it. The interface looks good. I mean, the sub sounds great. Acoustic and electric bass sounds. So basically, if you ever want anything where you need a live bass, Trillion is incredible. Just super dope. Purity, made by Sonic Cat. I didn't put it on the list because it sounds great. It actually doesn't sound great. It sounds really thin. It's an old plugin. Sometimes that thin sound is what you want and what you need, in a really good way. There's just a lot of dope presets in here. See, like very cheap, old, Triton-ish sounding patches. Keyscape, made by Spectrasonix. I find that it has more variety than Addictive Keys, but at the expense of being really heavy on your CPU. The sounds are really good, really crisp, and really full. And there's a lot of variety, a lot of control. I guess if you want a really particular sound, Keyscape is a go-to, but if you want a quick sound that sounds good, I'd say Addictive Keys. DECAP.